Welcome back to another episode of McMaster's Chronicles. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Joy.
And as you can tell, we're big Panthers fans. I'm just kidding. I don't have to say that. I just want to plug the Panthers. Okay. Today we're going to talk about a trauma bond. And I feel like it's a phrase that's getting a lot of more popularity now, but I don't know if people really know what it means, because I know when I first heard it, I thought it was like you went through a trauma together with somebody and you're bonded through that, which that's not really what it is at all. And
it's like your bond with your abuser.
Mm-hmm.
And it explains why people don't leave abusive situations, why it's so hard to leave an abusive situation.
Yeah.
Something that I've mentioned before is that it's like you're literally addicted. Your body is addicted. Your nervous system is addicted to this
person. Oh man.
Jonathan
that can't be more
really
more
knows
true.
what it's like to be in a trauma bond.
Mm-hmm.
We all do.
My family specifically,
in varying degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But your family had an extreme bond.
It was just like.
So I want to go one.
So bad. Yeah.
Just go one, and just we can give examples. One. These are like the 12 most reliable signs you're in a trauma bond with someone.
Yeah.
1, you feel loyal to someone who consistently hurts you. You might say things like they didn't mean it, they're stressed, they just need help, they're not that bad.
And that's what I remember I would always do. It's like you would justify, I would justify it as like, everybody has bad days sometimes, you know?
I definitely did that sometimes. I'm like, oh no, they're like in a bad mood. I hope they get out of a bad mood soon.
Yeah.
Like I would see it as like a flaw, like, but not like a serious like.
Or like they have to deal with so many people that are just bad and like, you know, they're stressed or they're whatever, because it seemed like everybody in the church was bad all the time. So it was just like,
no, that was intentional.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, that's the thing is like you try in your head to justify like, why are they this way? But like they're consistently hurting. Like if you're in there right now or somewhere similar, you might be like, they're not hurting me. But are they forcing you to do something and take up all of your time, in the sense of giving you no time to actually rest, no time for yourself, your mental health, your just growing your own life? Are they taking away from your relationships? It's like, it's not like, it might not be they hit you or they stole from you, even though they probably are, but it'll be under the guise of you're providing for the church. But like, even if it's not something blatant, they are hurting you, and they consistently do that. If they're continually putting you down in front of everybody, if they're continually blaming you for these things about how stuff isn't happening at the church, that's hurting you. And you may not see it as hurting you, but you are being hurt and you're justifying it.
2, when they hurt you, you blame yourself instead of them. You think, maybe I'm too sensitive. I definitely thought that. Maybe I caused it. I shouldn't have spoken up. This is a survival response.
Yeah. It was always, for me, it was like, so I was taught from a very young age to take responsibility from this pastor specifically. You have to take responsibility. And so I've grown, and I'm still very much this way, but like if something goes wrong, I look first and only at me and what I did wrong to cause the situation to happen. They were never the ones at fault. If the money's not there, that's my fault. If something isn't happening, I didn't communicate enough. If whatever the situation is, I couldn't look to other people. it was like what I had. But then the triangulation, I believe is the right word, with me versus with the other men in the church, they would say they're not, the things that they're supposed to do are not your responsibility. They have to take responsibility. But it was like my responsibility still to make sure they take responsibility. I was always trained to look at myself. Like, what did I do wrong? What can I do different? And not blame other people. They were very much like, you can't blame other people. You need to look at yourself. You're the only person you can control of how you do things.
But then they blame you.
They can blame me all day long. That's the thing. But, and then, yeah.
3, you feel anxious at the thought of upsetting them. You're walking on eggshells, scanning the room, predicting their mood.
Did you have that? That's okay, yeah. I don't know if you
I just think of Wednesday nights for this.
Mm-hmm.
Or anytime you go to church, you were always like, what mood are these people in?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at faces. Let's look at facial expressions. How did they hug me? How did they look at me? That was not you just being crazy. That was your survival. You're surviving right now. If you're still doing that, you're surviving and you're analyzing the room.
The facial expressions.
Because you know that if you misread something, or if you talk to someone when they're not happy with you, all hell's gonna break loose. Like this is like survival.
Yeah.
The pastor evangelist was a huge person that would always walk in angry, and his wife.
Angry. Yeah, they were always upset.
They would walk in angry, upset. We had not done enough evangelism. We had not brought in enough money. We're not communicating enough. There's some type of deficit that is just perpetuated incessantly. They said that we were always in a cycle. And what I'd like to say about that is, yes, we were always in a cycle. And the reason why we're always in a cycle is because we were in a cycle of abuse with multiple individuals at the same time, but really one main individual was perpetuating this cycle.
They were also in their own cycle of abuse with
that person. Yeah. They still are in that. And
I remember like analyzing their facial expressions. Do I think they're happy right now? Do I think they're mad? Or do I bring up this topic?
And it may be something that, like, I know maybe not every time you gave, you had like a legitimate testimony. But when like I had something to share, I shared it. But like when I didn't have something to share, I didn't share something.
Right.
But you just tried to share all the time because you were getting in trouble if you did. Yeah. But if I had something like I thought was cool, a story I wanted to share, and I shared it, I would analyze their faces. Did they like that? Did they not like that? Right. I would get nervous if they didn't like it.
Was the response loud enough or whatever?
You thought that?
Oh, yeah. Did they amen what you said loud enough or whatever?
You become trained around their reactions. 4, you have intense emotional highs and lows with them.
Mm-hmm.
The trauma bonds are built through abuse, apology, affection, hope, fear, calm, then abuse again. These emotional highs take the lows, make the lows feel worth it. And something I would say with this specifically is there's a lot of spiritual abuse. So like when you're in there and say they've deemed something that you did bad or something that someone else did bad, well, then you have to repent. Well, if you repent, then you're good again. But sometimes they don't accept your repentance. Let's not go down that road. But just say you repented and you're good again. Then you're kind of going through a lot of emotions. There's going to be worship music happening at that time. There's going to be people praying for you. There's going to be like all of that happening at the same time. So you're going through like just a lot of emotions. And through that process, you become bonded. You become bonded to the leaders. You become like, that is just an example of spiritual abuse and the trauma bonds that are like kind of created through spiritual abuse. But what?
I want to say like that affection and hope is almost like a drug.
Oh yeah.
Because they are so like if you're
and there's hope in God.
Right. But like people that use drugs, whatnot, why do people use drugs? A lot of times probably because their life might suck or like something might be bad and they just want to escape, right? Well, the abuser causes the abuse, causes the sucky, terrible situation, then gives you the high of after you repent or whatever the thing is, and you feel like so good.
You don't know necessarily that they're causing that.
You don't know that. You don't know
but they are causing it.
And then you're hot. It's such like a just like a high of
and
like,
you're also like, I love God.
Yeah.
God loves me.
You kind
God
of
has a purpose for me. This is tightly intertwined with spiritual abuse.
Yeah.
Tightly.
So it's like very strong chemical reaction in your brain of just like, I don't know if it's dopamine or what at the time. You're just like, yes, this is good. And then you are afraid that it's going to happen again. And you kind of, I remember these times, you kind of like, you're good. Then you kind of are just in a constant state of fear because while it's calm, while everything's okay, you're kind of
on the walking on eggshells.
Yeah, you're kind of waiting for it to happen, and then boom,
and you're in the cycle
again.
of abuse. So your nervous system is picking up on the subtle cues that are being given. Yeah.
Yep.
5, you feel like you can't leave even if you want to. This is the biggest sign. You feel stuck, obligated, frozen, guilty, scared, responsible for their feelings, like something terrible will happen if you leave. It's not love, it's fear disguised as connection.
Yeah.
You have any
examples so bad.
Of that?
It's just like, it's just so bad.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I felt stuck my whole life. I'm like, there is no life outside of this place. There was no life. I had to, in order to be a godly man, I had to do these things for the pastors. I had to do these things for the church. I had to, and what was bad is like they took and used my actual passion to serve the Lord and used it for their own gain. And then like the guilty and scared, like I would feel guilty all the time. Like if I didn't make enough money, or if I didn't do this, or if I didn't do that, or if I hurt the pastor or whatever, because I messed up something, which usually with this pastor, I can tell you that 99 times out of 100, people wouldn't mess things up. He would say it was messed up for some stupid reason and make you do something again. So then you'd be scared that you get in trouble, all that stuff. And I remember they're responsible for their feelings. I don't know if you remember, we had them over one night and he would talk about how hurt he was and how sad he was for all the people that had left and all the time and everything he had poured into those people, and he had hoped that they would come back one day, and all that stuff. And it's like, oh yeah.
I don't remember.
And it's just like, so then what I do if I'm going against him causes him, this person who is like a dad to me, to hurt.
100%. I agree with the whole
go on vacation.
I was very afraid of hurting them.
Yeah.
I still because you got to understand, they're crying in the middle of service.
Yeah.
They're crying. They're upset. They, after something happens and you're like, why does this keep happening? Like, I don't get it. And then
apparently we hurt them so bad they had to take a vacation to recover from us leaving.
That one was crazy to me.
When the church is having that
one was crazy. That one I still haven't recovered from. That factoid.
It's just so bad.
But you do feel bad for them. I definitely felt bad for them. I felt like I want to make their life better.
Yeah.
I don't. But then I also was like, okay, this is like way one-sided. I was kind of like, I definitely had a balance with it. See, other people don't really have that balance. Other people are like, oh, very caught up in everything for that person.
Well, Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
you
that's a
were,
big
and
thing
many people were.
because like I would think like because these families, so we're in a small church, right? And so the people that are making the money don't have a lot of money themselves because number one, they're giving it all to the church, or they just don't have a lot of money in the first place. But then the pastors, are building their own houses, um, have their own nice new cars, have fancy whatever. And maybe they're not living like millionaires, but they're still living really well for
And
this
relative
economy
to what other
by
people are living.
getting thousands of dollars worth of a paint job at their house, getting new dogs, getting new equipment for their just spending money, right? And I remember the feeling for me was like, well, it's their money, they can do. I'm happy for them. This is why we're here, to be able to do this, to set them up and, provide for them so that they don't have to worry about the things of life, so they can just study the word and pour into us and minister. I'm here to tell you, people, that ain't number one, that wasn't happening. Number two, uh, no.
That is not your
Like
purpose
that's
in life.
that's not what you're called for, to make somebody else's life nice while your life is down in the dumps. That's just not how it's supposed to be. And so
Number 6, they tell you that you're the problem and you believe it. You're dramatic, you're overreacting, you're making this up, you always twist things.
One I want to add in there is you're always sabotaging things.
Oh,
Did
yes.
you remember that one?
The sabotage.
Everybody,
I do remember
for the
that.
history of the church, all the men especially sabotaged everything all the time. But I'm here to tell you that it was the pastor emeritus who sabotaged everything.
Yeah, he did.
He sabotaged it all.
He's a sabotager.
He will destroy anything that's happening. And I know that because it's happened to me.
Yeah.
It
was one of the reasons why you left and he damned you.
Yes.
Because you were wanting to forward the business.
One of my businesses, yeah.
And put it in the stores.
Yeah.
And he said,
no.
How dare you put it in the store? He acted like he had why would he not want it in the store?
Yeah.
He gave you some BS reason.
Yeah.
He gives BS reasons for everything.
Yeah. Yep.
And he just wanted you to take it.
And I remember when, he
just wanted you to take it, and everybody stood there and let you take it.
I remember one thing too, because somebody at his house that was doing work one time, and the pastor was saying he wanted his mantle this certain way or in a certain place or whatever, and that's what he wanted. And the builder, the person who was doing it, was like, that you can't, you like literally to code, you can't do it. Yeah. Like it's illegal, it's wrong, you're not supposed to, all of the things. And he was like, no. He was like, you're not hearing me. You need to do this thing. And like, it's this thing, it's like, no matter what the reality is, if he says it, then you've got to do it, and it's got to be right. So
7, you keep forgiving them because you see the good side. Abusers often have charming moments, vulnerability, spiritual language, promises to change, emotional softness. These moments create false hope. Anything on that?
Oh, I have so much on that, but I'm going to keep it short.
I'm going to keep it short.
But I'm just going to say that I did have a lot of open heart surgeries, and he came to several of them. And this is just one example of the like good moments or whatever, because we had good times during those times. Like he was, very soft, very kind, very, like encouraging, very much like, you're going to be, but he kind of like, that is also the time where he set me up as like, I'm going to be the one that the church follows because I'm the heart of the church and all of this stuff. So it was kind of like building you up. Yeah. But like, there was the good. We had times where we laughed, where we, whatever. I experienced, probably more because I was closer to him, a lot of the
more normal
love bombing. Yeah. And just normal moments. But like, where we would just laugh and have like a good time. But like,
also just like, from my perspective, it's like you want it to be good. Like, what does the Bible say? Bible has so many verses on seeking peace, forgiving one another in love, as Christ has forgiven you. So many verses. Yeah. And you're just like, I will forgive. I will do it. And there's a difference between forgiving and staying. There's a difference between forgiving and staying. That is really important to know.
There is a
Because
big difference.
you think if you forgive, you have to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But you also feel like you must forgive because it is a biblical principle.
You can forgive and not have anything to do with the people in your life anymore.
And not have them
in your life anymore. Yeah. But that is not what is taught.
No.
Like forgiveness means
you must 100%. Restore the relationship 100%.
Yeah. And be right with it.
And 8, you defend them when others point out the abuse.
This I learned a lot from my dad, to be honest, because in my household, we would never be able to say anything wrong about the pastor, specifically the pastor emeritus. It wasn't so much the other ones. But like, if you were to say anything about they did this thing wrong, or how, even just question like why is this okay, or whatever. Not even like some of these things that say they're not oh yeah, my dad would say
they're not like that all the time. You don't understand our story. They're trying their best.
Yeah. And almost to the point where it's like no matter what they did, it was fine because they had some biblical purpose and some biblical reason, and he's doing it for you. And it's like they would use it's out of love. I love you, that's why I do these things to you.
That one is a very common one.
Yeah,
that's a very common one.
They did that a lot.
9, you fear losing them more than you fear the abuse continuing. This is a survival instinct created by isolation, shame, dependency, spiritual pressure, intermittent affection.
Yeah. I mean, like, for me on that, like, I think it goes back to you too on this of who else they would use it? Like, who else do you have to go to?
He literally said that.
He literally said that. So it's like you feel like you're not going to have anything else. So like your well-being is dependent on having some sort of relationship. Like I thought my safety and everything was dependent on being in the church.
Then your spiritual walk with God.
Yeah.
And you desiring to leave doesn't, like, you associated that with being lost. Like,
right.
If you leave, you're lost.
Right.
And I'm sure many people have associated.
Mm-hmm. And many people probably are right now. Mm-hmm. And they're like, if I leave, I can't be saved.
10, you feel guilty or scared when you think about pulling away. Guilt is a major bonding tool. You think, what if they need me? What if leaving hurts them? What if I'm abandoning them? What if I'm wrong? The thing that really I was very much contending with things was I would have like relationships with people, mm-hmm. and I knew that I could not continue those relationships with people, mm-hmm. because of what goes on when you can't talk to people after you leave and the isolation that takes place. And that I was like, we tried to make it work. We tried to make it work for a long time with that. I knew we did. And then the financial thing also was like, how are they going to pay? How are they going to get stuff they need for their kids? And they had multiple kids. They had lots of kids. And you're like, well, they need to go to the doctor. They need to have the stuff they need. We want them to have the toys they need. We want them to have the life they want. And that was not our responsibility. No,
but they put it on us.
And they're still putting it on people.
I remember, you remember this conversation we had with the supposed head pastor there whenever we were asking them to go to the surgery with us. He was like, well, he's the one, he pays our salary anyway, or whatever. Like, he was like saying that he was basically talking about how are they going to make it? How are they going to pay for the trip? And how are they going to pay for everything? And it's like, well, he pays our salary. And it just kind of like highlighted like anything that they have came from me in the first place. And that just added to the weight of the responsibility of like, if I quit, if I leave, then they're out. And what's going to happen to their family? Yeah. I don't know if that was...
I'm sure that was just a moment for you of understanding. I don't really think that. I just remember being like, I don't want anybody to come. Right. I don't want nobody to come with me.
But it was a big thing because like, you feel bad. Like, what are they going to have? Because we legitimately care for and love people. And it's like, just really hard.
11, you keep hoping the person will go back to who they were. Wow. Yeah. I've definitely been there before. The nice moments, the spiritual highs, the apology cycles. However, I will say the thing that I've told this to other people, and it is so crazy. Like when you learn about abuse, you learn that people, like abusers, will apologize and then go back to the same actions. These particular abusers never apologize. It's like, I'm glad I hurt you. Yep. It's like, that was my job. That was my spiritual job. You needed that. So actually that doesn't happen with them. It's actually like way worse with them.
They don't apologize.
They don't apologize.
I've asked my dad one time, like, when was the last time you ever heard this guy apologize? And he had to go to something like 25 years ago. I'm like, that's terrible.
The day after we left and you told them you're not my pastor, and Pastor Emeritus texted you and he said, I had to do it.
I had to do it.
I had to do it. I had to tell you to rape your wife. It had to be done. It had to be done.
I'm the only one who loves you enough to do that.
I'm the only pastor. In the sermon, he's like, 9 out of 10 pastors won't say this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm really glad they don't. I'm really glad they don't. 12, you feel addicted to the relationship. Trauma bonds release chemicals like dopamine.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Cortisol, which is like fear, oxytocin, attachment. Together they create an actual physiological dependency, like an addiction. This is why leaving feels impossible at first.
That's so true. It is literally a chemical reaction in your brain. And it's a drug in and of itself that, like, there's drugs like this that aren't like pills, and they are just as strong. They are just like so effective, and people that know how to use it. Now, remember, these pastors in this church were one of them is a doctor in psychology.
Yeah.
He knows how people work. He knows the brain.
He knows what he's doing.
So this stuff is not by accident. And so, and his son had a master's in psychology, I believe. Or he had
some degree in psychology.
Or he had a degree in psychology, yeah. And so it's like, these people are not just like random people that are doing something. These are very well-trained people that know what they're doing.
We believe they do.
We believe they do.
It's just, especially too, it just happens with everybody. It's not just like they're having a bad day. No. There was this one altercation. There's this one strange moment. It is like, it is happening to literally every individual in there. And it has happened for years. And people who have left, it happened to them. And you can hear the stories they say, and you're like, they did the same thing to me. They did the same thing. So there is a pattern. They have a pattern. They have a purpose. I mean, you know, when you try to address this issue, they will hear none of it. None of it. And
then if you address it and you're in there, you get in trouble and you might be lost and all that stuff. Yeah. According to them. But
I know I definitely tried to address it, and then I was just really made to feel like I was a really bad person for doing that. Because that's their go-to. It's like, you must not be saved. You must not be saved. You've got all these personality or psychological disorders, or you have
demons. Yeah, there's all sorts of things that they go to.
They pulled the demon one on me.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, I don't think so, but
hopefully,
it's still scary when someone says you have demons.
Yeah. Hopefully this is helpful though, for people to be able to like point out like this cycle and this bond that you might have with somebody.
It's just a definition of a trauma bond. And like, you need to know that because you have this or had this, it does not mean that you're doing it like wrong. It actually is like, it's a very natural thing for your body. It's a survival. It's a survival thing. And like some people, and we can do a video on this. Some people have very different responses to abuse. Your family in particular had a fawn response, where you would get closer to the abuser. You would try to please the abuser. Some people have a fight response. Some people have a flight response. I have like a combo. Like people can have combos. And so this is not to like shame you or to embarrass you or to make you feel like so stupid. It is actually really normal. Like, this is a really normal reaction to the abuse that you've endured and that we've endured. And there's actual like science behind it. Like, there's a
Mm-hmm.
science to it. It's not just like that's random, you know. And
Yep.
it is carefully curated by those in charge.
Yep.
They know exactly your vulnerabilities, exactly your affection for them, and your affection for their kids, and your affection for the vision and the ministry and God. And they will exploit your affection. They will exploit your affection. So that's we just wanted to kind of like give examples or like signs that you may be in a trauma bond with someone.
Hopefully this has been helpful to you in seeing that. And if you like don't believe things that we're saying or have more questions about it, I encourage you to just do your own research about it too, because take the things we've said, look into them deeper, and you'll see that this isn't just something we're making up like that. This is, I say that because that was kind of one of the ways that helped me get out initially, is because she would send me these little videos about trauma bonds and different things that I would see, like, I'm in this right now, or this is happening right now. So it was just kind of like subtle but slow.
And how did you feel when I sent you those things?
Well, I felt like, you know, I was doing something wrong by allowing you to send them to me and by watching them. But I also was like, well, what the heck? I was like, you know.
But also, like, when you read it, were you like scared? Were you like, wait, I'm in that? Or, like,
I wasn't really scared. I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, even if this is true, like, what do I do about it? You know, I can't leave. I'm going to be lost, like all that stuff.
Right. But so that part had to be fixed.
A lot of the things that happened the months before we left is what led to me actually being able to leave. The money thing, him accusing me of being lost, and then like there are things that I believe the Lord like set up to help me, like major things in my life. Broke those connections. Yeah. But
I don't think that has to happen. Like, I don't think horrible things have to happen.
But they weren't really horrible, though. I mean, some of them were.
Some of them were pretty bad.
Pretty bad. but some of them
especially the rape text message.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible. But that was just kind of like, okay, those things had already been broken by that point, and that was like, okay, I'm ready to go.
But you're really not, because like you're ready to go and you know there is no way but out. Right. And that kind of when it gets that bad, but then you're also like, how can you live without, you know? Yeah. It's very deep, very strong. But
yeah. Well, thank you again for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to hit it. 5, 4, hit the subscribe button. And continue to share these with people. We're in 10 countries now, I think, something like that. Scotland, Australia.
Scotland. Talking to us in the comments.
So please comment, share these, and our email is mcmasterschronicles@gmail.com. You can email us, and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you.